For centuries, these massive ancient monuments have fueled an intense, enduring obsession, the relentless search for a hidden mathematical code. Generations of European scholars believed they saw universal mathematical rules deliberately embedded in the stone. They projected complex geometry onto the ruins. They drew intricate networks of 8 to 5 triangles and mapped the golden section over the Great Pyramid, claiming this specific proportion dictated their perfect architectural harmony. These abstract overlays successfully rewired our modern perception. We stopped seeing highly effective, practical builders and began imagining a civilization of mystical mathematicians. Modern architectural historians argue that these elaborate codes are entirely a product of the modern era, rather than ancient reality. The modern hyper-logical mind often craves an escape. We constantly look back to antiquity, searching for a luminous secret to satisfy our own cultural desire for hidden wisdom. As the philosopher Umberto Eco observed, a revealed secret inevitably disappoints. There are no bigger secrets, only the empty secret, an illusion that slips through your fingers the moment you try to grasp it. If the esoteric equations are an empty secret, the actual methods used to construct this civilization must be grounded in something entirely different. The historical evidence points away from abstract theories and toward the physical dirt. Egyptian architecture relied on intensely practical physical operations. The actual tools were rudimentary. Builders stretched physical cords during ceremonial foundation rituals and staked out basic 1 cubic square grids directly on the ground. To manage the massive slope of a pyramid wall, they used a concept called the seked. Instead of calculating a universal angle, they measured a simple vertical drop followed by a horizontal run, mapping the incline out through step-by-step physical measurements. By knotting ropes at specific intervals to form simple 3, 4, 5 triangles, workers could integrate perfect right angles directly into these massive construction grids. For the Egyptians, design and execution operated as a single continuum. The architectural plan evolved simultaneously with the physical labor of moving the stone. This diagram shows an ancient sundial. The radiating lines indicate a layout built entirely on practical, physical observation to track the hours, requiring no mystical mathematics. The true foundation of their architectural precision was dirt, sweat, and brilliantly simple observational geometry. To understand the builders accurately, researchers are bringing the artifacts they left behind into the modern laboratory for forensic examination. Reflectance transformation imaging is a new cutting-edge technique used to uncover the microscopic physical realities of ancient artistry. When applied to the Narmer palette, RTI reveals the exact carving marks, the mid-process corrections, and the tactile manufacturing choices made by the original artist. This physical evidence extends to material science. The odd ridges on Uluburun glass ingots match the exact shape of the vessels they were cast in. The osteological data adds the final layer. Studying the skeletal remains of a second intermediate period pharaoh revealed extreme stress markers across the bones. These specific bone markers match the grueling, physically damaging effects of riding horses into battle, stripping away the idealized, pristine image of ancient royalty. These forensic breakthroughs strip away the magical veneer. They reveal a highly tactile society, bound by the same absolute physical constraints we face today. The sheer perfection of the architecture stands in stark contrast to the messy, mortal lives of the working people who actually built it. Recent studies have focused on so-called mummy pits. These mass collective burials for the lower classes represent a crowded attempt to preserve the physical body. Today, CT scanners allow researchers to peer inside intact wrappings without destroying the delicate historical evidence beneath the linen. Inside, the scans show imperfect, sometimes clumsy embalming techniques, structural deformations, and a highly varied trial-and-error approach to bodily preservation. This biological evidence reveals a deeply human culture struggling with the realities of mortality and decay. Look at the massive scale of the ancient world again through this new lens of practical physical labor. This empire arose through unparalleled mass organization and acute human observation, rather than by unlocking hidden equations for pi or the golden ratio. Discarding the search for a mystical secret code makes the historical truth more impressive. Recognizing their physical constraints, their basic tools, their flawed human bodies, and reliance on trial and error amplifies the immense human effort required to build these monuments. We do not need to invent mystical codes to validate their greatness. The true miracle is what human beings are capable of achieving with dirt, stone, stretched cords, and their own two hands.